Millions of Americans can find their Social Security benefits delayed, denied, or just lost in red tape with the federal government. We need to break down the facts, and there's an important change coming into effect in just a few days. You only have a few hours. You need to take action immediately if you haven't already done so. Hey everyone, welcome back to Portside Politics. As you know, I'm an actual attorney. I'm not someone who's just going to give you rambling chaos predictions because it gets them clicks. And that's part of what we're going to break down today. There are people on both sides of this issue trying to get you to panic because they want you to click their links. They want you to follow and subscribe and all that, but they're not going to give you a lot of actual facts. Let's just focus on the facts and cut through all the misinformation because you know what? Your livelihood might depend upon this if Social Security is a major part of your family's income. So, if you've scrolled through Facebook, Twitter, X, anything lately, you've probably seen Biden's cutting Social Security. Well, Biden's been out of office now for several months. The Republicans are saving Social Security from bankruptcy. That's an interesting one. We're going to take that in detail. And the government is stealing from Social Security. These are just all fears. Let's get down to the facts on these. Number one, the truth about Social Security. Someone paid into it years ago. It went into an account. It should be building up principal and interest. And then when they're old enough to retire, they get those proceeds. The argument that you will hear is that it's inefficient. It should be privatized. Privatization of Social Security goes all the way back to President Bush. And that has not been successful because, separate from political rallies and everything else, once people get to the meat and gritty of it, they start realizing, whoa, either I trust the government, let it stay there, or I don't trust the government. Why should I trust those people to tell me privatization is better? And the biggest thing about Social Security is it's a lot of money. So it's a tempting target for people. So let's get into the big change coming up. March 31st, 2025. You only have a few days. You can no longer identify who you are to make changes over the phone. This is a fraud cutting measure. It's to stop you from Googling and checking on Facebook and seeing that somebody's talking about their mom passed away. So now you have their mother's name and their mother's maiden name. And then you've got things like their date of birth because they gladly celebrate their birthday online. You've got their address. You can see the previous places they worked and lived. You can build a lot of stuff up about somebody with things that people freely give away, let alone the dark web. Bum, bum, bum. Social Security has made it so that you have to verify who you are electronically, or you're going to have to go into an office. And here's where things get really difficult for you. You got to go into an office. Those offices are being cut back as part of just the generic issues with the budget and deficit spending. And then there's Doge. All of those things combined are really causing a problem for Social Security offices. And I will tell you, I've had documents that we've had to take to Social Security. I've walked in on a regular Wednesday and just handed somebody a stack of documents and have them say, wait a second, I'll get your receipt. And I'm like, isn't this going to take hours? They go in the back, they feed it into an automatic document scanner. They come out in a minute and go, here you go, you're on your way. It's in the system. All of that ended with COVID and it's never really come back. And now we have an announcement that dozens of field offices are going to be closed. You know who that's going to hurt? That's going to hurt all the red states. That's going to it's going to brutalize all those MAGA voters. I mean, FAFO, ha ha, ha, but it's going to hurt everybody to some extent. And here's why. Because if you want to identify who you are, you're going to have to be somewhat tech savvy, or you're going to have someone that you trust that's tech savvy to help you. And then you're going to have all your documents together. All of those things don't align. Oh, and you also have to have a really good internet connection that's stable while you're doing this verification process. So now, if all of those things don't align, you can't call in. You're going to have to go to one of those field offices that are harder to find and even harder to find starting now and have less hours, less staff, and it's just going to be a much difficult, just outrageously difficult process. So I urge you, as soon as you hear these words, go. That was your warning. Go. This isn't supermarket sweep. Go. Go get yourself registered online and get your identity verified so that you can access your Social Security information online. It's going to save you a lot of trouble. Who are the people tossing Social Security around? Let's be honest, it's both sides of the fence. You've got a Republican administration slash MAGA in control right now. So you've got Democrats saying all the bad things that they're doing and they're going to do. When it was the other side around, we heard it from the other side of the aisle. People talking about fraud, government breakdowns, spendings, all sorts of stuff. And you don't have to go very far. Just go look online. You'll find former Social Security workers of all ranks and levels who are selling self-help books. They're selling self-help books. They've got their social media channels. Click here to watch my video. Spend $99 to learn my secret guide, my insider tips, whatever. Or it's full of affiliate links and ads. They're there because they're selling something and they want you to buy it. And a lot of them are buying it with clickbait titles. Honestly, that's probably what got you here today. So I want you to be informed, educated, and don't fly off the handle. However, I do want to ask you one simple thing. If you are already retired or if you're disabled and you depend upon Social Security, why would you vote for anyone that says they're going to touch it or mess with it? You depend upon it. I would think you'd want it left alone. Now, if you're someone who's going to get Social Security years down the road, maybe you should talk to somebody who needs it today that's a loved one in your family. They might not want you messing with it or touching it. And then here's the last one. If you the I'm going to make these numbers really simple for you. I'm going to take off I'm going to put down my spreadsheet and I'm going to take off all of my degrees and hats and robes and all that stuff and I'm going to make it real simple. If you make $50,000 a year, you get taxed on Social Security. If you make $1,050,000 a year, you do not get taxed on that entire amount that gets fed into the Social Security system. Why? Because an administration enacted a tax law to give a tax savings break to people who make large sums of money so they don't have to pay into the Social Security system. So that means the person down the street in the big fancy house or the person who's on TV that's got some elected position or appointed position in the cabinet that's making buku bucks, they don't pay into the Social Security system for all that money. Now, here's the argument people make. Well, the rich people make. Why should they pay into it? They're not getting the benefits back. And the answer is they do get the benefits back. They just get the same amount as everyone else. And quite frankly, I have to tell you, the tax rate is so low, it's appalling to me that somebody who makes the $1,050,000 a year is the one screaming that Social Security is going bankrupt and we should privatize it and we should make changes when all we really have to do is tax everybody for the full amount they make. And there would be this huge windfall of money coming into the system, and there would be no more money going out of the system. And you know what that would do? That would fill the bank up, and we wouldn't hear people complaining that it's going bankrupt. We'd hear them complaining that we should privatize it, but that bankruptcy argument would start to fall flat. I mean, the short fix here is don't touch it. Don't elect people who are going to touch it. And your politicians who say they want to touch it, you should be screaming. Now, what can you do today? I'm going to give you some really clear real world solutions that you can do right now. Number one, I need you to go to the Social Security website and get yourself set up for online access to your account. That's the first thing. You need to get that out of the way. The second thing is you should like and subscribe to this video. Then you should reach out to your elected representatives and tell them that you're opposed to any cuts to Social Security. Most importantly, though, separately, make a whole separate post. Tell them you want Social Security to be taxed on 100% of income that people make. Because I don't know about you, but if you're making $1,050,000 a year, you probably shouldn't pay the amount of Social Security as the person who makes 50,000. Now, those numbers are not accurate. There's a formula, it's a percentage rate. I kept them simple, but that's really what it comes down to. Person who has some blue collar job just working every day is paying about the same amount as somebody who makes a million plus. And that's just a disconnect on the system. We should tax people for Social Security and other benefits of our social safety net at 100% of their income. And then we'll see how the system goes from there. Remember, Social Security isn't a handout, it's your money. You paid into it. You deserve it, and you deserve your elected politicians to be protecting it, not playing games with it for your future. Also, if you see anybody post anything online that says it's going bankrupt, or you see from from your crazy MAGA uncle, or if you see, again, hold on, if your crazy MAGA uncle says it's going bankrupt, ask them, why don't we tax people at 100% of their income? I bet you they haven't even thought about it. And if they have, they don't have a good answer. They're going to change the goalpost on you. And then they're not a credible source for information. These are all, and if some politician tells you they tried, but the people representing the rich didn't get it through, I mean, then you know the truth. And I'd rather you know the truth, no matter how untasteful it is, than you believe somebody's lies and falsehoods. So thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear the truth. And remember, this isn't supermarket sweeps. Go, go, go. Go get yourself set up with that online account for Social Security.